Welcome, viewers, to a profound story of betrayal, strength, and rediscovering self-worth. If you believe true love can never be bought, please give this video a like and subscribe to join our community for more powerful narratives. Let us know in the comments, what is the true price of respect? My name is Eleanor Vance, and I am 70 years old. My husband, Robert, passed away 12 years ago, leaving me with a modest pension, a paid-off home, and a legacy of quiet, unconditional love. I thought I knew love. I thought I knew sacrifice. I was wrong. For years, I believed a mother's love had to be purchased, not just given freely, but constantly paid for with financial servitude. The incident that finally shattered this costly delusion occurred on a crisp autumn afternoon. I had called my son, Michael, to finally ask about the wedding date. I had postponed the call for a week, anxious about appearing too eager. 3 years I'd waited for this milestone. 3 years I'd silently been the financial backbone for Michael and his fiancée, Chloe, a burden I carried with a desperate, hopeful pride. Michael, darling, it's Mom. I was just wondering if you and Chloe had finalized the date for the wedding. I need to book my appointment for the hairdresser, you know. I tried to sound casual, but my voice held a tremor of excitement. Michael's response was a hesitant, almost inaudible mumble, Mom. Then, Chloe's hand appeared, snatching the phone. Her face, usually molded into an expression of patient tolerance when dealing with me, was now fixed in a terrifyingly sweet, predatory smile. She looked directly into the camera on her phone, a camera I had bought for Michael's birthday, and delivered the blow. Oh, we already got married yesterday, Eleanor. We only invited special people. The words didn't just hurt, they were a physical violation. The sound drained from my ears, and the phone in my hand suddenly felt like a 100-pound cinder block. Special people. I stood in my own sun-drenched living room, the room I had worked 2 jobs to pay for, paralyzed. Who were the special people? I thought of the $1,500 monthly rent I transferred like clockwork, every first of the month for 36 months. I thought of the fully furnished apartment, from the sectional sofa to the custom-made kitchen island, all purchased by me. I thought of the countless bags of groceries I delivered when they claimed they were too broke to eat. I realized, with sickening clarity, that I was not a person to them. I was a resource, a bank account with human characteristics that were mostly ignored. Michael wouldn't meet my eyes. He shuffled his feet, his hands shoved deep into the pockets of the trousers I had bought him for a job interview he never bothered to attend. Chloe, meanwhile, walked over and comfortably leaned against the railing of the staircase, a staircase I had paid to repair after a burst pipe in their apartment. The sapphire blue dress, the one I had picked out with such care, hung in the closet. I had set aside $5,000 for their wedding gift, delaying the hip replacement I desperately needed. All the meticulous planning, the anticipation, the quiet pride, it was all annihilated by 4 words: only invited special people. Michael finally forced himself to speak, his voice rehearsed and flat. Mom, it was just an intimate thing. Very small. Just us and the witnesses. Knew it was a lie, a cruel, transparent fabrication. Later that evening, the images appeared on social media. The photo album was titled, Our Fairytale Day with Our Favorite People. I saw Chloe's parents beaming. I saw her 4 siblings raising champagne glasses. I saw the 20-person dinner party at an exclusive restaurant. And the dress, the elaborate, sweeping white gown, a gown I had helped finance with the $3,000 I'd given Chloe the previous month for personal debt consolidation. I stared at the screen, absorbing everything I wasn't supposed to see. Snowflake hashed the chill of desperation. Exactly 7 days later, the phone rang again. It was Chloe, but the voice was unrecognizable. The triumphant smirk was gone, replaced by frantic, thin-lipped desperation. "Eleanor, the rent is overdue. The landlord is pressuring us and says we will be evicted this week if we don't pay. You forgot to make the transfer." Her voice was shrill, laced with panic, as if the entire financial structure of the world depended on my instantaneous obedience. I allowed a long silence to fill the line. I thought of the countless times I had cancelled my own plans, rushed to the bank, and postponed my own simple pleasures, just to ensure they had a roof over their heads. I remembered the dried beans and rice I ate for dinner, so I could give them money for a weekend trip. And now, after excluding and humiliating me, they had the gall to call as if nothing had happened. "Chloe," I said, and the calmness in my voice surprised me. It wasn't the trembling submission of the old Eleanor. It was the quiet authority of a newly awakened woman. "Didn't I warn you that I only help special people?" The resulting silence was absolute. I could hear the faint sound of traffic outside my window, but on the phone, nothing. For the first time in years, the power dynamic had shifted. It was no longer me trembling, but her. "Eleanor, I don't understand," she stammered. "We were always special to you. You're like a second mom to me." Lies? All those saccharine lies she used only when a financial need was present. The same voice she used to ask for money for the honeymoon, the rings, and the dress, all of which I helped finance without knowing I would never witness the exchange. I had meticulously calculated the financial hemorrhage: rent, food, utilities, gifts, emergencies. The total was well over $79,500. $79,500 I had painstakingly extracted from my late husband's legacy, from my pension, from the savings intended for my care in old age. And what was the return on this massive investment? To be treated as a stranger on the most significant day of my son's life. That night, I did cry. But they were not tears of sadness. They were tears of a deep, cleansing rage. I cried for the years of silently endured humiliation, for the foolish mother I had been, and for the woman who had lost herself trying to purchase love from those who considered her dispensable. Teacup with handle, the new dawn of arithmetic. I woke up the next morning feeling a cold, crystalline determination. I was going to quantify my folly. I took out my checkbook and bank statements. Monthly rent, $1,500 x 36 months, $54,000. Food or utilities or gifts, approximate $500 per month, $18,000. Unpaid car loan, financed by me, $5,000. Emergency medical bill, Chloe's skiing accident, $2,000. Living room furniture, $1,500. Final tally, $80,500. $805,000, all wasted on two able-bodied adults, who couldn't even afford me basic human respect. The phone rang. Michael. I let it ring. He tried twice. Then Chloe called 3 times. Finally, a text from Michael: "Mom, please, we are serious trouble. Answer the phone." I deleted it without a flicker of emotion. At the bank, Mr. Harrison, the manager, looked genuinely worried. "Mrs. Vance, are you being pressured?" "I am not being pressured, Mr. Harrison," I repeated. "I have simply decided that I am a special person, too. And my money is going to be spent on me." As I walked out of the bank, having completely cut the umbilical financial cord, I felt strangely light, as if a monumental physical weight had been lifted from my shoulders. For the first time in years, my money was entirely mine. Open door the confrontation and legal threat. When I arrived home, 3 cars were parked outside: Michael's, Chloe's, and the unfamiliar black sedan. I recognized the movement inside my house. They had used their keys. I took a deep, fortifying breath. This was it. The moment I stepped through that door, the old Eleanor would be gone forever. I opened the door and found Michael, head in his hands, Chloe pacing like a predator, and a man in a grey suit, Dr. Fisher, reviewing my private financial documents on my dining table. What exactly is happening here? I demanded. Chloe was the first to speak, her voice trembling with manufactured distress. Eleanor, thank God. We need to talk. Dr. Fisher is from the firm we consulted about your situation. My situation? I walked directly to the table and snatched my papers. You have absolutely no right to look at my private papers without my consent. Mom, Michael whined, adopting his most condescending tone. We're worried about you. Your behavior has been very strange lately. First, you cut us off without an explanation. Now you won't answer our calls. We think you might need professional help. Chloe tried to take my hand with that false, sickening tenderness. Eleanor, honey, maybe the loneliness is affecting you. At your age, episodes of confusion are normal. We just want to help. Confusion. The word struck me. This wasn't a desperate visit. It was a calculated legal maneuver. They wanted to declare me mentally incompetent and seize control of my entire estate. I am not confused, I said, the firmness in my voice silencing them all. I am clearer than I have been in years, and all three of you are leaving my house right now. Dr. Fisher intervened with the smooth, oily voice of a seasoned manipulator. Mrs. Vance, your children have a right to intervene if they believe your ability to make financial decisions is impaired. They have documented several concerning behaviors. Concerning behaviors. I laughed, a harsh, brittle sound. Like deciding that my money belongs to me. Like refusing to finance the lives of two adults who treat me like dirt. Chloe screamed, we never treated you badly. Everything you have will belong to us one day anyway. We are just speeding up the process. The truth was starkly revealed. They were just impatient vultures. Out! I pointed fiercely toward the door. Dr. Fisher pulled out a folder. Mrs. Vance, we have prepared documents, a temporary power of attorney. This is just until you feel better. I took the folder and, without breaking eye contact, threw it directly into the kitchen trash can. The only transition happening here is yours to the front door. Michael, his last card played, turned on the threat. Mom, this is going to end very badly for you. You're going to end up alone with no one to take care of you when you really need it. Michael, I said, my voice thick with finality. I am already alone. The difference is that now it's by my own choice, not by your neglect. Shield # building the fortress of freedom. The day after the confrontation, I was at the office of Mr. Weber, an attorney specializing in elder rights. Mrs. Vance, he confirmed, what your children attempted is financial elder abuse. The intrusion into your home, and the attempt to pressure you into signing a power of attorney constitutes a serious violation. My first steps were practical. I changed all the locks and hired a security expert to install a state-of-the-art surveillance system. The irony, installing a security system to protect myself from my own family, was a sharp, but necessary, pain. That afternoon, Chloe called again from an unknown number. The manipulation was transparent. Eleanor, it's Chloe. We want to apologize. It was a mistake. We miss you. Can we have a special celebration dinner at your house? How much rent do you owe now, Chloe? I cut in. The mask slipped instantly. 2 months. $3,000 total. But we love you, Eleanor. We really do. Love me, or love my money? I asked. Both, she wailed. We need your financial help, but we are your family. You made your choice when you decided I wasn't special enough to be at your wedding. Now I'm making mine. I am no longer funding your lives. I hung up and powered off the phone. Open door the social worker and escalation. One morning, the doorbell rang. The new security camera showed a young woman in a tailored suit holding a folder. Good morning, Mrs. Eleanor Vance. I am Mrs. Schmidt, a social investigator from the Office of Senior Services. We have received a report that you may be in an at-risk situation, and we need to conduct a wellness check. My heart hammered. They had escalated the fight. They had used the government.